Welcome to Sit, Stay, Read, the podcast for every wag, whinny, and whisker. I'm Kathleen Donnelly, award-winning author and retired canine handler. Each week, I chat with novelists about the bond we share with our furry friends and how they inspire stories. Grab a coffee, get cozy with your favorite pet. It's time to sit, stay, read. So today, I'm delighted to welcome Sharon Marchisello, the author of the DeeLo Myer Cat Rescue Cozy Mystery Series. The first book, Trap, Neuter, Die, a Claymore-finalist, was released in 2024 and blends mystery with Sharon's passion for animal rescue. She devotes her time to animal rescue, gardening, community work, all while staying deeply connected to the writing world. Sharon, welcome to Sit, Stay, Read.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm excited to have you on. So I loved just the title, Trap, Neuter, Die, and DeeLo Myer Cat Rescue Cozy Mystery Series. Would you tell me a little bit more about the book and the storyline and fill us in on all that?
Well, DeeLo Myer is a 30-year-old divorcee. She is a transplant from she grew up in California, and she is newly arrived in Pecan Point, Georgia, which is a small town in Georgia. And she she just got divorced, and shortly after she arrives, she gets a DUI and gets sentenced to community service with an animal rescue group. And so they put her in the Trap Neuter Return program, which is a program for to control cat overpopulation for feral and stray cats. What they do is they set humane traps, they trap the cats, and then take them to a clinic to have them spayed or neutered and vaccinated, and then they clip their ears so that they can tell that they've already done that cat. So if it gets caught again, then they don't have to haul it back in, and saves everybody a lot of time. Then they release it to its outdoor home, because a lot of these cats have are not really socialized and
Yeah.
don't it wouldn't do well living in family homes as indoor pets. And in fact, there aren't enough indoor homes for all the cats that are roaming around, so it helps with the population control. So they're perfectly comfortable outdoors, so you're releasing them to their colony with their friends and family, and they all kind of live together in a little cat village called a feral cat colony.
I love it. And along the way, of course, there's a murder. So can you tell us a little bit more about the murder and the mystery behind Trap, Neuter, Die and what DeeLo gets herself
Yeah,
into?
the first night that Adila goes out trapping, so of course she's paired with this woman who's like the expert trapper of the for the Humane Society that she's working with, and who has no tolerance for anyone who would drink and drive. And she's not very tolerant of anybody that doesn't know all about trap, neuter, return, and feral cats. She doesn't really like to teach them. She likes cats a whole lot more than people. She's not a very personable person. Her name is Catherine Foster. Anyway, so they don't get off on the best footing, but DeeLo's doing her best to follow along and serve for community service. And they're trapping behind the shopping center, where there's the owner of a bookstore is has been feeding these feral cats, and so Catherine is helping her getting them trapped and fixed. And they see the bookstore cat is out wandering around, and Catherine knows he's not supposed to be out. He's an indoor pet, and he shouldn't be out. And so they're looking like something's wrong. And they follow the cat, and he leads them to the door to the bookstore is open, and they walk in, and there's the bookstore owner. She's been strangled. She's lying on the floor.
Okay.
So so first night on duty, stumble over a dead body.
I love it. I love it. I mean, that's what we have to do to our characters, right? I mean, that's we have to
Right.
throw them into the fire, so to speak. So, as DeeLo gets more involved in this cat rescue and learning about it and solving the mystery, I just was curious how much of her work is drawn from your own experience working with the Fayette Humane Society.
The Humane Society. A lot of it, I never really worked in the trap neuter return program, although for as part of the research for this book, I did go out with trappers and everything and did some got some hands-on experience. I was more peripherally involved in the program. I was the grant writer, and so I wrote a lot of
Cool.
grants for the trap neuter return. So I, learned a lot of facts and everything. But as far as the hands-on experience, I really didn't have any except what I did for my research for writing the book. But one of the things when the cop that comes to investigate the murder, he has a grudge against Catherine Foster, which you find out later why he hates her so much. But the the county, the Pecan County, this is my fictitious county, has an animal ordinance, which is very much like the animal ordinance in Fayette County, which is very much like ordinances in a lot of counties. That the way it is written, trap neuter return is actually not legal, and um, the actually the trap and the neuter is okay. You can trap the cat and you can get it neutered. That's not okay. But once you release it back to its outdoor home, you're breaking a law because they
Oh,
have
wow.
different laws. They consider when you take ownership of that cat, which you do if you trap it and then take it to the vet, you're considered its owner. And then when you
Okay.
release it, you are abandoning your pet.
Okay.
And so and there are laws against that. And of course, no one has ever been prosecuted for it. But of course, in my
Right.
book, this cop who has read, probably the only person who ever read this ordinance and takes it seriously, and he's found a reason that he can arrest Catherine Foster. So he actually arrests her when
Okay.
they're out the next night they're out trapping some cats, and one of the an ear tip cat goes into her trap, and she lifts up the trap to let it out because she's not taking it back to the clinic because it's already
Right.
been fixed. And he catches her in the act of releasing this cat and and arrests her. And DeeLo is like, "What? This is so stupid. This is the most ridiculous law I've ever heard of. How could you do this?" And so she decides to take it upon herself that she's going to get this law changed. And so she figures out she works
Nice.
for her boyfriend, who is kind of the reason that she's living there anyway. That she's moved to Pecan Point is
Okay.
kind of for a guy, and he's offered her a job. He's a lawyer, and so she works in his law office, and so she asks him to help. How do you get an ordinance changed and everything? So she investigates how do you go about doing it. She reads the ordinance and she reads through it and sees where you're just needing some changes, some definitions, and what you need to do to change it to make trap neuter return legal. And she gets him to kind of help her with the legalese. And then she finds out the process, goes to meet with the board of commissioners to get
Okay.
this on the agenda so they can change this law. Of course, in the process of getting support and meeting with all the commissioners and everything, she does come across people that have motives for murder and ends
Okay.
up ends up figuring out who done it.
I love it. And I love the conflict with the trap and neuter. We have a feral cat who has a notch in her ear, and she just started hanging around one day. And actually, she's become pretty tame. I can pet her now. I feed her, and I tell her I would love to adopt her. She can come on in, but she has no interest in it. It really is
She
where she
probably
wants
is
to be.
happy living
Yeah,
outdoors. Although you
yeah,
live in Colorado, don't you? So it probably gets cold in the
I
winter.
do.
So
I do.
so
Yeah, we're gonna see if we can't tuck her into the garage, or I found some heated cat houses.
yeah, or a barn or
So
someplace like that, some
yeah,
straw, some. well, where she'd
Somewhere
have some
warm.
shelter in the winter because it can
Yeah,
get pretty cold.
it
The
can. It
thing
can.
the thing
Oh,
about
sorry.
Georgia is it's warm enough all year. I mean, it does get cold, but it's just not as cold as like
Yeah.
up north or in the mountains. And cats are able to breed all year, and that's one reason why we have such a rampant
Okay.
overpopulation problem, because they
Okay.
can have litters all year round. So
Oh, I never
we
thought
really,
about that. That makes sense. So I know that your mystery obviously features some quirky pets with the cats. So you have the feral cat, you have the bookstore cat. Did any real cats inspire these kitty characters?
probably a little bit. I've had cats all my life, and I don't currently have a cat now, but I foster cats, and so I've had a lot of foster cats in and out.
Okay.
And
Uh,
so the cat DeeLo ends up adopting this bookstore cat who is now homeless because his owner got killed. and and he's a very loving cat. And also, he saw who did it. And
Oh, I didn't think about that. So
so
he knows. He's the
he
best
knows
witness.
who did it.
I love that. So does he
Unfortunately,
help?
he doesn't talk,
Right.
but he does react. She just has to
Okay.
learn to pick up the signs, because when he sees the first time he sees the murderer, actually he sees the murderer like twice before the actual final confrontation. There's
Okay.
always someone else around, and she thinks that he's reacting to someone else and not to the actual killer. So
Okay. Okay. Oh, I love it because yeah, I mean animals know. They
yeah,
sense. I mean, not only did he witness it, but they sense things about people and they know. So I love that.
yeah.
I yeah, that is awesome. Well, I love too that Trap, Neuter, Die was a Claymore finalist. And I mean, what an amazing recognition. What did that mean to you as a writer to get that recognition?
Well, I mean, it was exciting. I mean, I didn't win. If I had won, that would have been that would
Right.
have been more exciting. But it's something to be recognized, and it's something to put in your query letter to, you know,
Yeah.
sound better. I got shortly thereafter, I got the offer from Level Best Books to
Okay.
and they wanted a 3-book series, which I had one book. And it's like, okay, yes, well, we really like this, but you know, what are you planning to do with it? Because
Mhm.
most of our contracts are for 3 books. And it's like,
Okay.
oh, well, how fast would I have to have the other 2 books?
Well, and that's
And
great because that means there's more books coming. So I book two is coming out fairly soon. We're filming this in August and we'll obviously be releasing it later on. So tell us a little bit about book two and what's coming next.
well, book 2 is called Trapped and Tested. And so it has some of the same characters are in it, but um and of course DeeLo ends up getting the tested in the title is kind of a double entendre. The
Okay.
it starts out, she has a niece who she has a DeeLo has a much older sister who was 16 at the time that she was born, and
Okay.
she was an unwed mother, and so she has a niece Demi who's really DeeLo's age, so they grew up kind of like sisters. And because the older sister was not very responsible when she was raising her child, the child was pretty much raised by parents. And so
Okay.
Demi lived with them quite a lot. But Demi is mixed race, but her mother never told her who her father was, never talked about her father, so she never knows anything about her father's family. And so she decides that she wants she's going to go on one of those ancestry sites and she's going to find she's going to find
Okay.
some answers. And she ends up, so when the story starts, she has found a match, and it's a half brother. And
Oh,
so
wow.
she
Okay.
wants DeeLo to to meet up with her to go with her to meet
Mhm.
this half brother. And on the way to the meeting, he gets a speeding ticket, and Demi talks him into um, pulling some strings to get him to do some community service with the animal rescue with DeeLo. So,
Okay.
so she ends up taking this half brother of her niece out trapping.
Oh, I love it.
And then he disappears. He's not very into it. He gets a call, he goes to a meeting, and then um, so then she leaves, and then she sees his car parked alongside of the road, and it's empty. And so she calls
Okay.
Demi because they're getting ready. They're going to meet. They're going to meet up later, and um, so she comes. They find his phone is in the car, so they track his phone, and they hear ringing, and then they find a dead body. Well, it's not quite a dead body. They find a man who has been stabbed, and
Okay.
so they don't know if brother is involved or if he's a victim, if he did it. Um, and
Oh, I
then by
love
the
it.
time they go back to the car, his car is gone. And so,
Oh, I love
so
it.
they really don't. So she doesn't really know, is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? Is he in
Right.
trouble? And of course, Demi doesn't want to tell the police. And so they're and it turns out that the guy, the victim, the stabbing victim, turns out is the CEO of an animal testing clinic. So there's the other thing, the
Okay.
testing, you got the testing of the DNA and the animal testing that's going
Okay.
on in the town. So they find out um, some testing stuff that's going on and some things that are a little crooked going on in the town. And
Okay.
of course, there's also an election for county commissioner that's going on, and there's a lot of threads. So,
It
but
sounds wonderful
basically a
and
murder
it's yeah, I was
and
gonna
cats.
well, of course. Murdering cats. I love it.
A
Is
murder
it
and cats.
is it a small town? It's a small town setting then,
Small
isn't it?
town. Mm,
Okay, which is always fun because everyone knows each other and you have
yeah,
probably a lot of suspects, right?
right. And then the DeeLo's boyfriend, that's the lawyer, his ex-wife is kind of a pain. She's always there. They used to be partners in the law firm, and now she's gone to get her hooks out of out of Barry, so she's always there. And in book two, she's running for an open position on the board of commissioners, and of course, DeeLo is going to support the opponent. Barry is supporting
Okay.
his ex-wife, and DeeLo is supporting the opponent. And
I love it. I love it.
so,
That
as well.
yeah, that is fun. There's a lot of conflict brewing there and should be a lot of fun to read.
Yeah.
And so you've lived though all over the world. I discovered you're from Texas, you've lived in France, Los Angeles, now Georgia. How does that how do those experiences shape your writing voice, setting, stories? Is everything going to be set in Georgia?
No, not really. I have the first my first published novel was set in Texas, in East Texas, and that's where I grew up. It's called Going Home, and that was inspired by my mother's battle with Alzheimer's disease.
Okay.
And the daughter comes home to check on her mom, and there she is standing over the bludgeoned body of her caregiver, and she can't give a straight answer
Yeah.
about what happened. So the daughter's stuck in the hometown where she grew up, and she's got to be the amateur sleuth and try to solve the mystery, and all the baggage from her past is coming back to haunt her. So I
Okay.
have
Okay.
Small Town East Texas, and that's based on the town where I grew up. And then my second published novel is called Secrets of the Galapagos, and that takes place on a cruise of the Galapagos Islands.
Okay.
And I worked for the airlines for 27 years and did a lot of traveling. We still do a lot of traveling. Been to over 100 countries and been on like 75 cruises. And
Wow.
um,
That's a lot of
so,
cruises.
although I haven't really set that many things in international destinations, I like to, but I did set this one, in the Galapagos, and
Okay.
actually, it just came out with a sequel to that. It's called Murder at Leisure Dreams Galapagos. It's my
Okay.
protagonist ends up the Secrets of the Galapagos takes place on a Galapagos cruise in the islands, and I
Okay.
use the ship that I was on. So there's a lot more drama than what we experienced. There's a disappearance at sea and a death on board the ship. But
Oh, those sound like a lot of fun.
my
And
protagonist ends up staying in the Galapagos and managing a hotel there, a luxury hotel that she met the CEO on the Galapagos cruise that she was there on Secrets of the Galapagos, and um, so now she's the manager of this luxury hotel, and they're getting ready for the grand opening, and there's a famous documentary producer is there staying. She's a VIP guest, and she ends up getting poisoned. They find her dead.
okay.
after after my protagonist's staff sent her a bottle of champagne, a welcome gift, a welcome bottle of champagne.
Sounds like it wasn't so welcoming after all. So,
So,
oh, I love it. Well, this has been so much fun. I mean, we could talk animals forever, especially cats. They're such funny creatures. But where can writers find and connect? Sorry, writers, readers, or writers, either one. Where can readers find and connect with you? And sorry, I think my internet.
well, I'm
Oh, there
on
we go.
Facebook, I'm on Instagram, I'm
Great.
on Twitter, or it's on I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. My website is SharonMarchisello.com. If you type Sharon Marchisello into Google, everything you see is about me because I'm the only Sharon Marchisello. So you'll see the my book is on um, Amazon and all the usual spots. I have a website that SharonMarchisello.com, and um, so you can read about the different books, and um,
Fantastic.
so all the usual. I'm on BookBub and
Okay.
LinkedIn, probably most of the sites.
Most of the sites. So you're pretty easy to find. That's great. Well, Sharon, this has been
Yeah,
wonderful. And I know
yeah.
your
There's a
listeners.
contact me page on my website too.
Okay. Oh, perfect. So people can email you. And do you have a newsletter? Do you have a monthly newsletter?
No, I should do that, but I don't.
Okay. Okay. Oh, no worries. I just always like to
I
let
used to
listeners
write a
know.
Yeah, I used to write a finance blog, but after I got more into writing during the pandemic, I got into writing more fiction. I wrote this one and then got the three-book contract, and then I also wrote the sequel to the Galapagos, so I didn't have time to write the finance blog anymore. So
That's a lot of writing. That
just
is a lot.
focusing on turning out books. Mm.
Well, fantastic. Well, Sharon, this has been wonderful. And I know your listeners are going to enjoy your stories. So, everyone, be sure to check out Trap, Neuter, Die. And Sharon, thanks again for sharing your time with us. So, yep, there it is Trap, Neuter, Die.
Well,
And
thank you for having me. I appreciate it. It was great talking to you. So.
Great talking with you too. And everyone, until next time, keep your tails wagging and pages turning. Thanks for joining me today. Sit, Stay, Read is a part of the Authors on the Air Global Network. If you enjoyed today's author interview, be sure to leave a review and share the episode with a fellow animal-loving reader. If you're curious about the world of working dogs and wilderness adventures, please check out my books at KathleenDonnelly.com. Until next time, curl up with your best furry friend and sit, stay, read.